I want to stop you right now, sis, because you're fixing the wrong thing. And that is why you're still stuck. Right now, you are spending countless hours, so much wasted time, unnecessary energy, right? By working on marketing materials that don't matter right now, right? You are spending hours tweaking your website and getting together your business cards and trying to do things on social media on all of the various platforms. You're redesigning your logo. You are rewriting your bio. You're doing all the things and wearing all the hats, but you're not getting anywhere because you are fixing the wrong thing. And I want to talk about, first of all, that being the reasons why you are still stuck, still and stagnant, and haven't made any real forward momentum, movement, right? Progression in the right direction. And it's driving you nuts right now. And I understand. And I want to talk about what's really going on. I've been there. Okay. So no judgment here. I get it. I get you. That's why I'm doing this video talking specifically to you. When I first started my business, the business I'm running now, my online coaching and consulting service or company, back in 2016, I'm 9 years in. I can tell you firsthand, I can speak to this. I was also focused on all of the wrong things. Okay. I spent countless hours on all of the logistics and legalities and formalities of business. I can't tell you how many times I tried to perfect all of the marketing materials, the brochures, the flyers, the business cards, the website. I wanted all of that to look picture perfect and polished and pristine so that I can show up looking like the professional that I am, right? And coming from corporate America, that's what I really thought it had to be. And even though I had experience having had, a business before that had some success, it was not wildly successful, right? And so part of the problem is there are things that I still needed to learn that I hadn't even learned in the first business. So I brought that same energy and what I had learned over to, the new business, but there were still things that I did not quite know because I wasn't clear on. And we're not clear on those things. Guess what? You're not asking the right questions at the right time to the right people, right? And so you continue down this you know, continued circle or cycle, a maddening cycle, I call it. And also like on this hamster wheel of just going, busy, 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 getting nowhere fast, right? And so I need you to know, and the other thing that I did really quickly too is that I didn't even have the right business model. Didn't really truly know what a business model was or how, the kind of business model that I had chosen at first, which was an hourly business model as compared to a value priced business model. Won't get too deep into that, right? But have other videos on this channel where I talk more about that. But just kind of to mention really quickly that those are the kinds of things that I was focused on, and it's the wrong kinds of things. So I want to get into it because you too are more than likely focused on those wrong things, right? And so, but let's talk about what's really going on. Okay. I always like to assess first, being the nurse that I am. And I do like to take things, in a practical way, right? As a holistic business coach, this is a part of my teaching methodologies. So the first order of business is to always assess the issue, right? What are the deeper rooted problems, right? Where does it stem from? What's really going on? Because until we can deal with that internal, deeper inner work that many of us like to move away from, shy away from, don't want to deal with, right? But we need to, because that's how we expedite our external success, because none of these other things on the outside that we're trying to reach for or work towards, right, or strive for, or any of those things, we're not going to get there, sis, if we don't deal with these things first, right? Because these are the real problems right here. So let's start by talking about the illusion of productivity versus true progress. So busy work becomes like a shield from vulnerability, right? What do I mean by that? I mean, it's a trauma response, plain and simple, and just to get to the point, okay? The bottom line is when you are busy being busy, it's because you're trying to avoid doing the harder work, the deeper work that I just talked about, the inner work, because it's hard work, right? And a lot of that trauma that's accumulated over the years, you might not even realize exists. And if you do realize it exists, you acknowledge it at least, you can at least admit to that being a part of the problem. You haven't discovered the solution or gotten the help that you need in order to push past that, right? Or to heal that, and so that you can then move forward and make real progress. So you're kind of stuck in a rut right now, right? Because you're staying in this busy zone, but the busyness is not really what's moving the needle at all, right? We've got to learn how to get in the rooms and in the spaces of other women who understand what we're going through. We also need to not be too prideful or too ashamed to reach out for the help that we know we need. Okay. We know we need the support. So why are we avoiding it? I'll tell you why here shortly, because I don't want to go too deep in that piece of it. But what I want to first say is that you need to get vulnerable. It's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. And the more vulnerable you get, actually, the more open you are to gaining the clarity and the insight you need to move forward from where you are right now. Okay. And here's the thing, too. There's something to be said about why you are fixing surface level stuff right now. You want to know why? Of course you do. So the reason is because it feels safer, and because it feels easier than digging deeper and getting into the mindset and the strategy of it all, right? When we peel back the layers and deal with the truth of what's underneath, that we've got to then deal with doing something about it, right? We've got to address the problem. So right now, all of the surface BS feels like it's just that's easier, right? And I don't really want to dig deeper because I am afraid of what I might find out and what I might discover and what might be revealed to me. Because then when I realize that what the problems really are and where it really stems from, that means I need to do work that I'm not really ready to do, right? Again, going back to this being a trauma response, this is going to be your response when it comes to why it is, or the reasons why it is that you are doing the surface level work instead of the deeper inner healing work that has to be done before you can reach that level of success and gratification that you want, that you desire, that you dream of, and guess what? That you deserve. Okay? Now, what are the signs that show up that prove or that indicate that you are focusing on the wrong things? A few is that you're constantly switching tools and branding and pivoting, right? And rebranding and freebies, and you're switching coaches and you're hoarding courses and you're gathering up all of this information, but you're not doing anything with it, right? You're staying in the planning phase instead of the growth and development phase because you're never executing, you're never building, you're never doing, you're never in action mode, you're not in solution mode, you're residing in the problem. Those are signs that that you are focusing on the wrong things, right? Also, you are avoiding the hard conversations. That means conversations around pricing, around sales, around boundaries, okay? So what actually does move the needle? If those aren't the things that move the needle and those are the things you've been doing, let me quickly tell you what things you should be focused on so that you can move the needle and make progress and have momentum. Focusing on marketing and sales systems and structure in your business. And yes, boundaries. We've got to learn how to be energetically aligned with the things and the people who come into our space, who we allow into our space. And if they no longer serve us, or they don't serve us at all, or they are misaligned with us in our energy and with our core values, which you've got to be clear on in order to know, because that's going to help drive your decisions, right? And your behaviors and your actions or inactions. So you've got to be crystal clear on those things, because those are the things that move the needle. And support, effective strategies, aligned people, meaning the clients you serve, the people you're surrounded by, the team that you hire, the offers that you're creating, the marketing messages, all of those things need to be in alignment. Okay. When you're misaligned, when you don't have the right strategies, when you don't have structure in your business, when you don't set bold business boundaries, when you are not focused on the marketing and the sales system, when you are not creating the right funnels, right? When you're not embodying the confidence and the level of confidence that you need in that CEO energy, those are the things right there that are holding you back, okay? Because those are the very things that will move you forward, okay? And so Now, before we go any further, if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. I always like to have a dialogue beyond this video, okay? So let's keep the discussion moving in the right direction. Let me know what hits home with you, what's pulling on those heartstrings, what part of my message so far, what I've said so far in this video, this particular topic is hitting home with you or resonating with you deeply. Okay, I want to know where you are right now in the journey and if this is helpful. So next thing I want to talk about is why you've been avoiding it, right? Why have you been avoiding this and how you can actually stop? First of all, I'm going to tell you why. You're fearing failure or you're fearing success. And yes, there is a such thing. And I know that sounds really weird, especially from somebody like you and I, right? We're ambitious women. We're high achievers. We're type A personalities. We've had success all of our lives, right? Academically, in our careers, in our relationships, perhaps, right? And as a parent, as a whatever, and you've done in life, you've had some level of success, and that's what's gotten you to where you are right now, even in business, right? So you might be saying, what do you mean I fear success? That sounds weird. I know it does, but it's the truth. Many women that I work with, even though they've had success in all of these other areas of their lives, they do fear that they're either going to fail in this area or they are going to succeed. And the reason why that scares people, women, okay, ambitious women like you and I, sometimes is because you don't know what transformation looks like on the other side. So you're fearing the unknown, the uncertain. Like, what does that mean for me now that I'm successful, or once I reach this level of success? What does my life now look like? What expectations are there? Are there going to be people who gravitate to me that I now can't trust, or that people coming out of the woodworks, or people that have expectations that I'm now going to carry their burdens, right? Like, what does that mean for me? Do I have to uphold a particular standard that I'm not used to? Like, so much behind fearing success. So believe you me, it is a real fear, okay? Now, other things that you're afraid of and why you're avoiding it rather is that you are doing too much people pleasing. That kind of goes back, by the way, to the boundaries that we talked about, right? And perfectionism, people pleasing, perfectionism, procrastination, those are the things right there. Those 3 P's, right, are the things that you're doing right now that's preventing you from moving forward, right? It's helping you to avoid the real work that you need to be doing and what you really need to be focused on. And let me just tell you this, you do not need any more tactics, okay? You do not need any more tactics. You don't need to do trending things. You don't need tactics. You need timeless strategies and solutions that actually work, right? You need clarity and you need conviction. That's what you need to do to stop avoiding the things that you're doing right now that's not helping you, not serving you, so that you can focus on the right things that are going to push you past where you are right now. Okay? I want to give you permission to choose a different path, sis. Permission to choose a different path. And you might be saying, well, I don't really need permission. Well, if you haven't done what you need to do so far, which is what I've talked about in this video, then yes, you might need that permission to do something different, to choose a different path. And there's nothing wrong with that. So don't take, offense to it. Don't get defensive about it. It's okay, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So I'm here to help. So, and I want you to also know that you're not behind. You're not behind, you're not failing, what you just need right now is the right guidance, the right support, and a stronger support system, okay? You cannot Google your way to greatness. You cannot Google your way to greatness. So if you're tired of doing this alone and doing everything by yourself and wearing all the hats and doing all the things and getting nowhere on that hamster wheel we talked about, I want you to book a Freedom and Focus Clarity call with me so that we can fix that problem for you and really dig deeper in what's blocking your breakthrough. Okay, what's blocking your breakthrough? I'm going to leave a link to book a call with me in the pinned comments below. And also, I don't leave you empty-handed ever. I want you to see what happens when you're in the right rooms and when you want to stop avoiding your getting to your next level that you might not even realize you're doing, I want you to see what happens when you stop avoiding getting to your next level. How do you do that? You're going to grab your copy of the Job Liberation Virtual Summit for Black Women replay. We already had it live, okay? Phenomenal, epic event. Wonderful, beautiful, amazing speakers, so much talent in one room. It was a vibe, okay? If you are not identifying as a Black woman, but you're a woman of color and you know somebody, or your non-melanated counterpart, you can still help by sharing. Sharing is caring. Share this out with others in your circle who might, benefit from this, right? So yes, it's a specific, summit that was designed for Black women. Okay, so I do want to emphasize that. Hosted by Dr. Kamani Norrington Sands of Lifting as We Climb Consulting and Wellness Firm, and Marissa Price of Marissa Price Heals. Those two ladies are brilliant, okay, and they're genius for doing this work. Out in the communities, right? And doing so much more and getting us all in one place to help one another. We want to lift each other up as women collectively, right? But also specifically brown and Black women that really do suffer from and are victims of and survivors of very unique situations that only are applicable to us. Okay, it just is what it is. So we are talking the truth over here. Okay, now I do want you to invite someone in, or like I said, gift them or share this out. Or if you yourself identify as being a Black woman, do make sure that you witness the transformational level firsthand. But if you are not a Black woman, or you don't know someone who is, that you can pass this information along to, you can still get on a call with me. Let's go ahead and give you the clarity you need, the insight you need, and map out exactly what your journey actually can look like and all the ways in which I can support you on your entrepreneurial journey, okay? And not just in business, but also in life, okay? Now, I hope this has been helpful. And if it has, then thank you for sticking around and staying tuned in. Now, that's my time. I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to watch the next video that YouTube recommends, and share this video out with at least 3 friends. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.